In this video, I'll be showing you how I use this little blue buggy to shoot people on location. Here we go. Okay, see that? Once again, just with a silver reflector. Just to narrow it down a little bit. There we go. We've just been out on a location shoot with Talisha, our model, to showcase the usefulness and the versatility of this little piece of gear. Now the images aren't perfect. I was in a bit of a hurry because I was trying to shoot between the lawn mowers, the grass cutters, coming backwards and forwards. I didn't want them to ruin our soundtrack, so I was shooting fairly quickly. Some of the exposures are a little bit iffy, some of the compositions, but you'll see the results that can be achieved with this buggy. Now, we're only just scratching the surface here. There are so many things we can do with this buggy to enhance your photography work. The great thing about this buggy is that it's quick, it's easy, it's versatile. I used to spend ages packing all my stuff in my car, making trips back to the studio and out to the car. Now I just put it all in a buggy, lift it into the back of the car, and it's all done. I get to my location, lift it out, and off I go. Everything's there for me. Here we are, we've got this buggy. This is one of the best bits of equipment I ever purchased. Well, I didn't purchase it, my wife purchased it for me as a gift, but it's been a great thing. I can use this to cart my gear pretty much anywhere. It's a buggy that's got wide tyres on it, wide wheels, which is great because it goes over sand quite well, and I do a lot of beach shoots. It also goes over soft ground, as we've got here today. Narrow wheels are much more difficult to tow through those sort of situations. It's got enough capacity to hold all of my lighting gear and my camera bag and any other accessories that I have. Now, the big advantage of this is it fits in the back of my car. I can just lift this up into the back of my car and I'm ready to go. I grab it out again, I'm ready to go. There's no mucking around. So the buggy cost about $99, which sounds a lot, but it's been so useful to me, better than pretty much any other $100 that I've ever spent. The big advantage of it is that I can attach all of my lighting to this. I don't need to bring a whole lot of light stands, C-stands and all of that sort of stuff. I've rigged this up so that I can light my model in a number of different ways. You're going to see all of those things, probably about 15 different ways of lighting I can do just using this buggy. Now, there are a few extra things I've put on here, particularly these little aluminium channels here. I've just cable tied them to each corner of the buggy, and that allows me to use some of these uprights straight into that channel, and I can attach my lights to the top of these. I can attach lights, I can attach reflectors and scrims. You're going to see all of that stuff once we start shooting. I can also attach my running sheet to the back of here. I've got a grey card on the back of here that's stuck on there, so I've always got that here with me. I can just put that on the back of the buggy and it just stays there, and that's really handy. I've also got a change room here. Now, this change room is the second best piece of equipment I ever bought. This was about $69, I would say, and this allows my model to get changed in privacy at the location without any problems. We don't have to find a change room, we don't have to do it in the car. We can do it with this change room, and it saves me a lot of time and a lot of effort. I'll show you that later as well. It also allows me to carry some water bottles. I've got a couple of water bottles on the front here, one for the model, one for myself. I usually carry a stool in here as well, a collapsible stool that allows me to sit down and take the pressure off my knees. So you can custom make these to any purpose that you want. I don't always bring all of this gear with me. Sometimes it's just my camera bag and a strobe or a couple of flashes. But today I've got a lot of stuff here. It fits in the buggy and it works fine. So what we're going to do is we're going to start taking some shots of Talisha, our model, and I'm going to show you how I set up these lights with the buggy just on my own to get the results that I do. Now this is just in the development stage. I've been using this for maybe 12 months or so, but I haven't had the time to be able to modify it really well. You guys could probably do a lot better job than I've done here, just by adding extra bits, making it a little bit more clean and tidy, but it suits the purposes that I need it for at the moment. But maybe I'll in the future, I'll get stuck in and do a few extra mods so that it can be a little bit more versatile. The other thing about this is that it does collapse up. I can take the stuff out of here when I get to my car and it will collapse up so it will fit in a smaller boot of a car. You don't need to have a wagon like I've got. Collapse it up and it'll fit in the boot of pretty much any car. One of the mods that you may choose to make, and I've got to do something about it, is all the little bells and whistles things that we need. Clamps, triggers, gaffer tape, all that sort of stuff. I just put it in this box in the buggy, but having something that you could hang on the side maybe would be so much more accessible and would make it easier. So that's something I need to do in the future. All right, so now we're going to start off with just some natural light shots of Talisha, and then we're going to progress through to something that's a little bit more special. So I'm just going to take a couple of natural light shots of Talisha. We've got beautiful big soft light coming in from here. It's very flattering light. So I'm just going to do a couple of shots of her. I've got ISO 400, f5.6 at 1/100. Okay, Talisha, just looking straight at me. Yeah, lovely. That's good. Maybe just turn your face that way a little bit. Yep. Push that hair back a little. Yeah, great. That's it. Just moving a little bit closer. Focus. Yeah. Great. Even got a little smile then. That's good. You're all right. That's okay. Now I'm going to put up a reflector on the buggy so that you can see how I use the reflector. Probably not the best angle, but these little clamps are really handy. I've got a few of these in my little goodie bag, so we can just use these to stabilise our reflector so that it stays in the one spot. So, Talisha, you can come in close to the reflector there for me, a little bit further in. Yep. Okay, that's lovely. So you can see a little bit more light is reflected onto Talisha's face off this reflector. Here we go. Yeah. Just turn your face towards that reflector a little bit. Nice to me, yeah? Terrific, yep. Okay, that's good. You can see the difference in those two shots with the reflector on and with the reflector off. Now I'm going to use a scrim in the sunlight to light Talisha's face. So the scrim is the translucent part of your reflector. It's in the middle and it allows some light to come through onto your subject's face. So we're going to move into the sunlight and I'll show you the difference between using the scrim and without. Okay, so I'm going to take a shot here now of Talisha in the sunlight. She's got direct sunlight on her face, which isn't really ideal, but I'll take it and I'll show you, then we'll use the scrim. Okay, Talisha, I want you to turn your face this way a little bit for me. Yeah, that's it, eyes to me. Okay, that's great. Yep, one more. Okay, good stuff. Now we'll use the buggy and we'll pull the scrim down so that that sunlight is diffused through the scrim, and we're going to shoot Talisha in the same position with the sunlight coming through that scrim. Okay, that's lovely. Just turn the face a little bit. Eyes to me. Yeah, that's good. Beautiful, and more. Yep. Okay. You can see the difference that makes. Looks amazing, just because we've got the scrim up there. Now there are various different ways I can attach the scrim to this buggy. I'll show you another way later, but this is just the starting point. We've got so much more to come. Yeah, good. A couple little smiley ones, yeah. Great. Yep. Good. A bit more serious now. Yep. Yep. A really serious one, a real sore.
I'll try, because I'm a little
I know.
giggly. Hold on one sec.
Yeah. Okay. Good. Perfect. Good stuff. Okay, now we're going to get Talisha changed into another outfit, and you'll see the second most favourite piece of kit that I have, and that's my change room. Ready? Whoa! Now, we simply open it up. Pull it out, and here we have our change room all set, ready to go. We've got a door on here, a zipper, and Talisha can disappear inside and she'll magically appear in a different outfit. It is a good idea to have someone hold the change room while she's getting changed, particularly on a windy day. You can nail it down or peg it down if you want to, but it's a bit of a hassle if you're moving locations. So I just stand here and hold it, and she'll let me know when she's ready to come out. The big advantage of this is that I can do a whole range of different clothing changes with my model. And we don't waste time having her going back to a change room or going back to a car to change. It's so much better, particularly if we're shooting late in the day. We've got light happening with the sunset or with late afternoon light. I don't want to be waiting 10 to 15 minutes for the model to get changed and come back again. So this is so much better. We get more good shots. The model's happy because she's not standing in the middle of the park getting changed. That's a stupid thing to say as well.
Not creepy at all.
Edit all this stuff out, yeah. Okay, that's good. Yeah, and don't be afraid to do a few moving shots as well. Here she comes.
All right. Oh God,
Go.
sorry.
All done.
Probably should have been.
Well done. Okay, so we've got a new model now. So all I do with this, if I'm not changing locations, I just lay it down on the ground and leave it there. If it's a windy day, it might start to move around, but just stick your camera bag on top of it and it's not a problem. Okay, so I'm just changing this around. I've got this little aluminium rod. It just fits on top of my light stand, and I'm going to just screw it down with a little wing nut. That gives me a horizontal mounting point that I can attach a background to, a scrim, or I can attach a gobo, which we're going to do in a little while. So we just use this white background. I get a couple of clamps. There we go, and we attach the background onto here. There we go. This is not actually a background, this is a scrim, as you've seen before. So we just lift it up. Here we go. And we've got a white background to shoot Talisha against. So Talisha, can you come over here please? So you can see, if Steve comes around this way, you can see that we've got a bit of a shadow on here. I don't particularly want that shadow. It's not a major problem, but I know if there's a shadow there, it means that Talisha's got hard light from the sunlight on her face. So I'm just going to move the trolley into an area that's a bit more shaded so we don't have that hard light on her face. So that should be okay. So Talisha, if you can stand there for me, just in front of that background. I'm using that as a background.
Oh, okay.
Yep.
Yep.
Okay, that's nice, yeah. Maybe your hands up on your collar, something, yeah. Okay, that's good. All right, here we go. Yeah, great. Okay. Yep, just play with your hair a little bit, yeah. That's it. Good, turn your face, yeah. No, yep. Okay, that's great. So, looks like we've got a studio backdrop, but we're out in the park. You could use a black backdrop as well. Just put the black reflector back onto the scrim and you can do it that way. Now I'm going to put the black surface back on the reflector and we're going to shoot Talisha against that black background. One problem you're going to have with this setup is wind. We don't have too much wind today, but it's still moving this reflector around a bit. You can fix it up with just a little bit of gaffer tape on the pole to help you, or have some sort of brace. I'm going to show you a brilliant idea that I've had to stop my trolley tipping over in the wind. I'll show you in a minute. Okay, here we go, just against that black background. Same sort of thing. Yeah, there's a little bit of hair just inside your neckline there. That's it. Yeah, just move across a little bit. Good stuff, yeah? Great. Just look up that way for me, Talisha. Yep. Good. Eyes back to me. Yeah. Okay, so now we're going to use that black reflector again, but I'm going to use it as a top light blocker. You've seen this in some of the natural light videos that I've done, but we can do it on this buggy quite easily. Okay, there we go. We've got this top light blocker on so that we can control the light coming in underneath this blocker. Now, when we're out in normal natural light, we get light coming from above a lot of the time if we're not careful, but this blocks that light from above and it will allow that nice soft light to come in underneath and light Talisha in a really nice way. Just need to lift this up a little bit more. Okay, so you're just under this end, Talisha. That's it. I'm going to be shooting up this way. So, yeah, that's it. That's good. Steve can just do a walk around as we do it. I want you to turn your face that way because that's where the most of the light's coming from. Yeah? Okay. That's good. Yeah. Great. Yeah, that's good. One more. Yep. Okay. Terrific. Where's he going? So we're controlling that natural light with that top light blocker. And it's all done with the buggy and those uprights. Now these uprights have just come from, you can buy them on eBay, you can buy them anywhere, just light poles, or you can just take them off one of your light stands. One of these is off a boom arm that I have, so I just took the boom part of it off. Another one is just a light stand that didn't work anymore and I pulled it apart. I should apologise because it's mowing day in the park here and we've got council workers everywhere on their little ride-on mowers. They're having a great time driving past, watching what we're doing, but the sound is going to be a little bit iffy because of that. So what I've got now is my speed light, just on a flash bracket, any sort of flash bracket you can use. I'm going to attach it to the top of my pole and then I'm going to raise my pole up enough so that that light's going to be coming down on Talisha. We want this light coming down on her so that it's going to look natural because we expect that light to come down. Okay, so Talisha, if you can come and stand over here for us, please. Just in front of that light, so back this way a little bit more. Yeah, that's good. Turning my flash trigger on. Okay, so turning that face that way a little bit, Talisha. Yep, eyes to me. Great. Okay. Yeah, that's good. Okay. Just going to do a full length shot of you now. And here. Okay. That looks terrific. That exposure works well. The blue in the sky, the light on Talisha. It works amazing. Amazingly. That's an adverb. Okay, now we're going to change it up again. We're going to put an umbrella on that flash to soften it down a little bit. So we grab our umbrella. This is a shoot-through umbrella. On most flash brackets, you've got a little umbrella stand that you can put. Just screw that in and then we can turn this around. Okay, so now we've got our umbrella. It's going to give us nice soft light. I'm going to turn it around to face Talisha in a minute. But one problem we have, I mentioned before, wind is a problem with this setup, because if the wind grabs hold of that umbrella, it could topple the buggy over. What I do to combat that is a couple of things. The first one is I never tighten up the shaft on the umbrella, because if the wind blows, it might blow the umbrella out of the bracket, but it's not going to tip my buggy over. The other thing I do is I always carry a small light stand like this, which means that I can use this on the windward side or the lee side, I don't know which is it. I can just put that there, tie this on with Velcro, and that's going to act as a brace for my buggy. Stick it in here, and that's going to stop that buggy tipping over in the wind. All right, so we're going to do some shots of Talisha here. We're going to turn this around. We're going to tilt it downwards. Now we've got nice soft light to light our model with. Okay, round here please, Talisha. Now because I'm using a shoot-through umbrella, it's going to reduce the power of that light as well. So I'm either going to have to get Talisha closer to that light, or I'm going to have to open up my aperture a little bit. I'll do a little bit of both. We might get you back a little bit. That's it. I've just changed Talisha's position. That's a hard thing to say. I've changed Talisha's position so that that light's coming onto her face a little bit more frontally, so she doesn't have to turn her face to the side all the time. Okay. Frontally.
Frontally, is that a new verb?
Did I say that? Oh, I make up words all the time. It's good, isn't it?
Yeah, I love it.
It's so freeing.
You're redefining the English
Yeah,
language.
yeah, that's it. Okay, so just turn that face a little bit that way, eyes to me. Okay, lovely. Here we go. Yes. Drop that aperture down a little bit more. Okay. Yeah, that's good. Yep. Just moving a bit closer. That's it. Yeah. Good stuff. Yep. Okay. Terrific. Because I'm using off-camera flash, I can move in and out, I can move around wherever I want, and that light's going to be consistent on Talisha's face. Beautiful. Look at that. Beautiful lighting from a little blue buggy. Great stuff. And Talisha helps a little bit. All right, so now we're going to switch to a silver umbrella, which, as you all know, if you've watched my videos, the silver umbrella will give us more light because we're not losing some light from that white reflective umbrella. It's not going to give us a harder light because the umbrella is the same size. This one's a little bit bigger, but silver umbrellas don't give you hard light because they're a large light source. Okay, pull that out. This one in. Okay, and of course we need to turn it around because we don't want Talisha facing the black side of the umbrella. There we go. So the fact that we've turned it around means that it's a bit further away, so it may even up that exposure a little bit. Yeah, that's good. Okay, maybe back a little bit more. Yeah, that's it. Good. Okay, nice to me. Good, just check that. Yeah, lovely. Good, yeah. Just looking down over that way for me. Yep. Yep. Can you pull some hair forward on this shoulder? Yeah. Lovely. Now just turn your eyes to me. Yes. Amazing light. See that? Once again, just with a silver reflector, just with a silver umbrella. So what we're going to do now, we're going to do a couple of effects with our speed lights. Before we change over to some other lighting, we're just going to use a bit of a spotlight on this shaded wall, and then we're going to use a gobo to throw some pattern light on the wall. All done with the buggy. We're going to use our speed light. We're going to angle it downwards, and we're just going to use our Pringle tube just to spot that light, just to narrow it down a little bit. There we go. We're going to have Talisha standing here against the wall and have that spotlight coming down onto her. Now, a couple of problems that we may have with this sort of buggy. The first one is the wind, as I mentioned to you before, but if you brace the side of your buggy, you shouldn't have a major problem with that. The other one is that everybody, if you're teaching a class or a workshop, tends to dump all their stuff on top of your buggy. Now, it's okay for the model to do it because she doesn't have very much, but once you get 5 or 6 camera bags on here from lazy students, I'm carrying around half a ton of gear. So we need to make a rule, no students putting stuff on the buggy. A couple of other things, we could make a little bench on here too if you wanted to. I've got a little bit of timber that I can lay across the top of the buggy that I can sit down on, and that's a little bit easier than getting down onto a low stool for me, but I haven't brought it today because I didn't think I'd need it. Yeah, now it's just aimed at you, Talisha, or we need to lift it up a bit?
No, I think it is.
We can. Okay, that's good. Now, because our light's coming from that way, we need you to turn your face that way. Yeah? Okay, that's good. Here we go. All right, cool. Okay, here we go. Yeah, beautiful. One more, yep. Maybe one hand up. Yeah, keep that elbow back so you're not blocking that light. Yep, that's it. Good, here we go. Yeah, great. Yep. Okay, that looks terrific. We might move you further away so that we get a little bit more spread on that light. Yeah, that's it. Okay, good. Turn your face towards the light a bit. Yep. Great. Maybe feet apart, a little bit more sassy. Yeah, that's it. Great. Yeah. Terrific. So you can see how that looks, that narrow band of light from the snoot, simply with a Pringle tube on our speed light. Now we're going to do something a little bit different. We're going to use a gobo. So we're going to shoot Talisha in the same spot because we want an area that's reasonably dark to be doing this sort of stuff. Now, in my reflector bag, I carry a piece of cloth here with a whole lot of holes in it. So I can attach this to my cross piece here and have that flash coming through it to light Talisha with all of those little spots on it. So that's what we're going to do now. So my speed light goes up here, and my cross piece comes across here, and we'll just attach it with a couple of clamps. There we go. Okay, we've got a little bit of wind here, but we can cope with that. All right, so Talisha, if you can stand there for me. Now I want you to be able to see that flash through the big hole. Can you see it? Yep, because if you can see that flash, that means the flash is on your eyes. Okay, great. All right, that's good. Turn your face towards there. Yep, that's it. Okay, yeah. That's it. Okay. Good, yep. Yep, just look down the wall that way for me. Okay. Yeah, that looks great. So you can see the result we get, just with a little bit of fabric and some holes cut in it. Now we're going to use our strobes on our buggy to give us a little bit more power that we might need if we want to overcome the sunlight. So I'm just taking this speed light off and replacing it with our strobe, which is simply a more powerful flash. The reason why we're doing it is because we've got a pretty bright background here. I want a light Talisha sufficient to expose that background properly. I might put this brace on because we've got a little bit more weight at the top, so just to be safe. Okay, now Talisha, now this ground is a little bit uneven, so just pick a spot, maybe just down there. Yeah, that's good. Okay, now you'll notice we've got some sunlight coming through here. I want to try and keep that sunlight off Talisha's face if I can. That's why I put my strobe on this side, so she can turn her face towards that light, that strobe, and keep the sunlight off her face. See what we've got here. Okay, so that's way overexposed. My background's too bright and Talisha's too bright, so I'm going to simply reduce my aperture to darken both parts of my image. Going from f10 down to probably f16. That should be fine. Okay, just try again. Here we go. All right, that's good. My flash is still a bit hot, so I'm going to take it down to f20. Lovely. Yeah, beautiful. Just get a bit lower to get that horizon in the shot. There you go. Yep, just keep your face turned towards that light, yeah. All right, just doing a full length one. Talisha, just look out over there for me. Yeah, wonderful. Just going to do a full length shot. Just looking out there, Talisha. Yeah, great. Just moving a bit closer. Make you look really tall. There you go. Yeah, cool. And one more. I'll just get down low. Include some of that tree. Yeah. Okay, that's terrific. So there we go. It's getting very hot here. There you go. We're shooting with the strobe from the Buggy, and the shot looks fantastic. The last thing we're going to do is we're going to put a softbox on that strobe, and the Buggy will still be fine for that. So the last thing we're going to do is we're going to put a softbox on that strobe to soften that light right down, so we can get perfectly studio style lighting in this situation. Now we're shooting Talisha with that large soft light, beautiful light it's going to be, and you'll see the result that we get, and I can balance it with the light in the background. Okay, so just come a little bit closer please, Talisha. Yeah, that's it, maybe back there a little bit. Yeah, that's it. All right, great, yep. Just turn the face a little, yeah, eyes to me. Great, yep, good, yeah. Just do a horizontal one, yeah. Yep, beautiful, that's it. Yeah, stay there, just turn your face, keep your shoulders there, just turn your face to me, yeah. That's it, shoulders back around, yeah, that's it. Good, eyes to me, yeah. Okay, and we're going to do a low down one. So just continue, look at the bottom of the light, oh, look at the middle of the light for me. Yep, that's it. That's great. Turn your eyes to look over my head, yep. Yep, beautiful. Do a full length one. I know your boots aren't going to be lit, but that's okay. There we go. Yeah, terrific. The other thing we can do with this is we can put a camera on here. We can use a universal bracket on top of our light stand. It'll screw on top of the light stand. We screw our camera to it and I can use it as a tripod. Or a monopod. I can pull this out and use this as a monopod and shoot around if I need to. So many uses for the Marshall trolley. That's what I'll call it. I'll call it the Marshall trolley to go with the Marshall reflector. You notice we haven't been using the Marshall reflector today, but the reason is that it's just a little bit too big to fit. I'm going to trim it down so it fits in, but the collapsible 5-in-1 gives me a little bit more versatility because it's got the scrim inside it. So I hope you've enjoyed that. I hope I haven't talked too much, but you see the versatility of something like this. You can make this up yourself really cheaply and you can probably do a much better job than I have. I'll see you in the next video. Okay, there we go. I'm getting too old for this. There we go. All done.